We did it. We did it. We did it. Oh my goodness. Honestly, I cannot believe that we actually pulled it off. I did not believe that we could, but hey, where there is a will, there is a way. And honestly, oh, what a performance. What a performance from France. Overall, it was just a great game. I think we dominated the game from A to Z. It was just a very complete performance. 2-0, 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏 with an absolutely smacking, beautiful free kick for his sixth appearance for the French national team, scoring his first goal off a beautiful free kick. And then Dembélé off a 𝙎𝙖𝘾𝘼𝙎 cross, cut it back, scores, slots it in. 2-0, happy days, tied. Probably could have gone for a bit more, tried to go for the to go for the victory and try to do it in the 90, as well as do it in the 120. But great teams find ways to win, and eventually we went and did it on penalties. And speaking of that penalty shootout, like just going back, I'm gonna be honest here. Going back and seeing that penalty shootout, it really gets me thinking and reminiscing of if only we had Magic Mike in goal during that 2022 World Cup. Listen, I'm not saying that we go and win it necessarily. I don't think go back at the pens that Lloris had, they weren't egregious and whatnot. They were pretty well struck and whatnot. But I'm just thinking, Magic Mike saves one of them. That changes everything. Anyways, we can't linger on the past. But again, Magic Mike, that's 2 penalty shootouts, 2 wins. It's like people hit him like Donnarumma, like he's in goal. I'm not saying that I was going in there confident saying we're gonna win and smack them, but like you go in there when they're taking a penalty, you just feel like they're nervous. They're nervous. They could miss, and it just fills you and your teammates with a sense of confidence. You go, and even we didn't go first. We shot towards where all the Croatian fans were, and I mean, just a great penalty shootout. Unlike the one at the Euros, this time we didn't score every single one of our penalties. So if I'm not mistaken, this was Jules Koundé who missed his penalty and Theo Hernandez who missed his penalty. But everybody else, Mbappe scored his, which was narrowly missed. Honestly, it was well placed. The keeper gets a hand to it, but just doesn't get enough. The 𝙬𝙬 one, even though it was close, it was well struck. It was just perfectly placed. And the 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝑎𝑎𝑛𝑦 one, again, a pretty decent penalty. 𝙬𝙬, what a cold penalty. Unlike the penalty that he had against Liverpool this time around, the pressure was different, because I guess if you think back to the Liverpool one, I mean, even if he misses, PSG still have the advantage, and if they score the next one, they would have won it. This time around, if 𝙬𝙬 misses, that's it. That's game done. So, but no, he went there, took a breath in, was even like smirking and whatnot, lost his penalty. Pressure does not exist for Désiré Doué. Great penalty, and then Josip Stanisic misses, and Upamecano scores it, and that gets me on to me wanting to go and talk about who I think today were the man of the match. First and foremost, it has to be 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝑼𝙎. What a performance! Listen, I don't care about that. The French is not all that good. I mean, you may be struggling here and there, but buddy, you're trying, and that's all. I respect that. And buddy, you are as French can be in my eyes. What a performance! Désiré Doué, Michael 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝑖𝙎, a goal, an assist, 9.2. This guy was everywhere, had the most touches. Just phenomenal performance. What a way to announce yourself in France at the Stade de France in front of 77,000, if I'm not mistaken, 77,000 people. Just absolutely amazing performance from Michael 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝑖𝙎. And not gonna lie, going back to my previous video where I talked about the criticisms, this is the type of lineup I want to see. This is what I mean. You go Manu Koné, 𝙬𝙬𝘾𝑖𝙎, okay? And this time Manu Koné is a bit more of a, creative. He can create more of an engine player, can create a bit more. But then you play with the 10, Michael 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝑖𝙎, Dembélé, Barcola, and Mbappe. If you think about it, on the basis of things, if you really were to go in it, PSG, I mean France, have probably the best attacking threat ever, or some of the. He's currently in Europe right now, definitely, of any national team, any club team, anything. Where are you talking about? We have Dembélé and Mbappe, who are currently probably some of the best, I think, most informed wingers and forwards in the world of football. Have scored the most goals in 2025. You got Barcola, who's been very good this season. 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝑖𝙎, who's been tearing it up at Bayern. Doué also coming off the bench. 𝙬𝙾𝘼𝑎𝑛𝑦, who's been in a decent form. Marcus Thuram, who unfortunately wasn't able to participate in this international window. But looking at all that talent, and you go and you see that, yes, this is what we need. This is what you need. You need to utilize it like that. Put all 4 of them on there. And then today it was just complete and utter domination. every single time. And going back, once again, I have to go and say, 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏, what a performance. What a performance. I mean, we didn't really suffer defensively much whatsoever at all. And that also has to do with the fact that, I mean, I don't want to go and say that I'm disappointed in the way that Croatia played, because ultimately you're playing away in France to a team that's, I mean, on paper, like better than you, and if they want to, they can like roll over you. And so I'm not necessarily going and criticizing the way they played, but they didn't really offer much. If I'm not mistaken, that entire game they didn't have a single shot on target. If we look at the stats, yeah, 5 shots, none on target. They didn't do anything. 30% possession, 0.818 xG. Didn't really offer much. Didn't really do much. There was the only times where there was a bit of a scare was like when they would launch long balls in behind. But even there, like 𝙀𝙀𝘾𝘼𝙎 and Saliba, I thought today were absolutely immaculate. But especially 𝙀𝙀𝘾𝘼𝙎 today, like after this performance for me, he is a starter. I don't care. Maybe Konate Saliba, there's still a bit of debate who slots in there. I think the Saliba 𝙀𝙀𝘾𝘼𝙎 for me, you leave that untouched. They've been great, and I think it's something like 𝙀𝙀𝘾𝘼𝙎 in like 13 games for France. He's not lost a game or something like that. So I just think you leave that as is, and you don't mess about with it. He was great at the World Cup. Obviously, he's got that bozo sometimes moment, but I feel like when he's locked in, of those 3, he could be probably the best center back. When he's locked in and dialed in like that, nobody gets past him. He's great with the ball at his feet. He's great at starting attacks, putting threading through passes to cut like several lines as well. He's just been he's just a very complete performance. And on top of that, to go smack the winning penalty in to win the penalty shootout. Awesome, amazing performance from him. 𝙋𝙊𝘾𝘼𝘎𝘾 as well. Didn't really have to do much in the game, and then was absolutely immaculate during the penalty shootout, saving, if I'm not mistaken, 2 penalties, and then the other one that they skied. Again, great performance from him. It's just in goal there. I know recently for AC Milan hasn't been, all that great, but again, the French national team, more than good enough. Definitely number 1 starter. And you just go into a game like that, you're not fearing, I'm not scared of, even like if there's a penalty shootout against me, you go and you think, I'm not going to say 50-50, obviously, but you think, yeah, it's not over. We got a shot in here. So I love his mentality that he's going. He sees that it's adrenaline. He sees it as sort of a game, a psychological warfare. I like the mentality that he has as well. He's a real leader out there, which I also enjoy. Also, another person to note is that Tchouaméni. I know for Real Madrid, he's been getting a lot of criticism recently. I thought today was absolutely he's really, really, really good. I think he won something like, if I go to duels that he won, let's see. Where is he? Yeah, 7 out of 9. Air duels 1, ground duels 8 out of 10. I think he was really good today in his role as sort of like a 6, getting the ball, springing attacks, getting stuck in defensively. I thought this was a vintage, very good Tchouaméni performance, and ideally, for Real Madrid, maybe Real Madrid fans probably what you want to be seeing more of. But I thought again today he's really good, bossed that midfield, and this is a performance that you need to note of, and we need to be seeing more for the French national team. I thought Koné today was good. I thought he carried the ball quite well. I was like today, I don't think there's anybody who's like a flop necessarily. I thought maybe Koundé struggled a bit more. I think this 8.3 here is pretty generous. He missed a penalty. I thought there was some of the passes that he was making were going wayward, and likewise on the other side, I also thought that Hernandez, not like bad by any stretch of the imagination. I just thought they were a lot less good than the rest of the team. Barcola once again, and this will go on to one of my other points here, was Barcola in those first 10 minutes or so was really lively. You could see him. He was completely causing havoc. He had that one big chance in the the 30th minute where, I guess in fairness, you would go and you'd say that he should be scoring, he should be doing better, but I think it's just a great save. The shot's on target. It's just a really good quick save. Maybe you should elevate a bit more. Maybe you should go near post instead of far post. It's one of them where you just say, okay, fair play, keeper. It's a good save overall. I thought that, again, in those first couple 10 minutes, I thought he was really lively and was causing havoc to the defender, to Stanisic over there. But the thing is, though, as the game went on, and this is one of the great, the big points, is that Mbappe, first and foremost, let me go and say that he didn't have a bad game by any means. He didn't have a bad game. I thought he was fine, 7.6. He got good chances. 3 shots here on target that he had. There was one here. I think this is the one where he's spinning around and fires one. I think it was this one in the 14th minute, where he spins around, fires one, and nearly scores an absolute worldie. He was lively, he got shots and whatnot. Like, it was a good performance, creating chances and whatnot. But for me, the biggest thing is that this guy is a hog. Like, you've got ball hogs, you got people who, just hog the ball and don't let it go. No, but it's not that. Well, at times he can be that. But for me, it's more so is that, like, he's always hogging the left side of the pitch. Like, 𝙭𝙗𝘼 is meant to be here. And there's times where Hernandez is on the ball, he's coming up with it. 𝙭𝙗𝘼 is like on the touchline, and you've got Mbappe like right here. Like, you're taking up this, like, one of the big things that you've always, like, if you've ever played football, to a decent certain level, is that you never want to be on the same line, typically, generally speaking, as like one of your other players. So that's either mean like horizontally. So if you look at the pitch like this, you don't want like a 𝙭𝙗𝘼 to be here and Ølse like here, they'd be on the same line here. You don't want them to be on the same line here, and you don't want them to be on the same line vertically either. The thing is, with Mbappe, 𝙭𝙗𝘼 would come here and Mbappe would come and be like right here, or would come and be like right there, be on the exact same line, which means that they do the exact same job. And it's like, I understand that he like goes left and wanders left, so on and so forth, but he was like exaggerating it, and it meant that like 𝙭𝙗𝘼 was then basically forced to go inside, where, okay, I guess he can play there, but that's not. 𝙭𝙗𝘼 is most effective on the wing, and I would probably say, at least currently, probably better one-on-one, going dribbling at his defender, is more useful than an Mbappe. Not that Mbappe can't do that, so on and so forth, but if you're bringing on 𝙭𝙗𝘼 to be in this team, then you have to let him do what he does best and just cook on that left side. And Mbappe stay more centrally. Yes, you can meander a bit, slightly left of center here, but just primarily stay central. And another thing is that, like, he's trying to come back too deep at times. This has been a recurring thing that he's been doing even last year at PSG, even the year before that, is that he's trying to sort of be this all-encompassing Neymar-esque player where he comes back, drops deep, gets the ball, is a creative playmaker. He still has pace. Those aren't his attributes. Like, you don't need to prove it to anybody that you can do that type of stuff. Just go stick to your guns, stick to what you're good at, and go and finish opportunities. And that's the biggest thing. Like, he didn't have a bad game, as I said previously. Got good opportunities. I liked, actually, today he was actually a pretty good captain. Got a yellow for going and basically telling the keeper to hurry up. Spoke to the ref. I think he was defending his teammates quite well. That's great and whatnot, but for me, it's just, again, like, this whole hogging, like, just dictating, being a dictator out there on the pitch, and going and like forcing 𝙭𝙗𝘼 to go out into the center. It's just like, just let other players also like be able to like express themselves onto the pitch and do your job, stick to your role. But yeah, other than that, Dembele, once again, great game from him. Didn't this time play. He wasn't playing in that, Lucho-esque, number 10 role. He's much more so of a just normal winger. Back to what I guess you saw, like vintage Dembele, if you want, just hugging the touchline and taking players on. Although he didn't do too much of taking on this game, but was much more of a threat. Obviously scored his goal with his right foot here, was dangerous, was getting shots off, was getting key passes in. I think he got, like one of the highest like XGs or expected assists in the game. So I thought he was lively. For me, the two best forwards, at least starting forwards, were definitely Ølse and Dembele today. I thought they caused the Croatian defense a lot of issues, and I think by the end of it, like most of their back line there had gotten at least a yellow card, and a lot of this was due to the way that they were playing. But yeah, no, overall, even if you go back and I think of the people who came on later on, 𝙎𝙬𝘼𝘾𝘼𝘼 came on. I thought he was really good today again for his first ever call up and game for the French men's national team. I thought 𝙀𝙾𝘼, like, it's hard with 𝙀𝙾𝘼 because I like him so much as a person, but realistically speaking, 𝙀𝙾𝘼 should not realistically be coming in and starting for the French national team or playing here. Like, when I go in, I saw 𝙀𝙾𝘼 was coming on for Dembele. Unless Dembele, had an issue and whatnot, I didn't see why. I don't think he did anything. In fairness, he scored his penalty, great and whatnot, but like, it's just not good enough, I think, at this point for the French national team. And I know that Didier Deschamps can be difficult, that he tends to pick players just based on their like sort of loyalties and whatnot. But yeah, didn't really do anything. If I want to do duels, ground duels 2 out of 40%. Didn't do much. It wasn't terrible by any means, but just when you go and you saw, okay, Dembele, what he's doing on that right-hand side, Barcola, even what he was doing earlier on, even though he didn't have the greatest, even Mbappe, it was a clear, like several tiers, several orders of magnitude downgrade going from what you had previously to 𝙀𝙀𝘆𝘾𝘼𝙎. Camavinga, I thought he was pretty good, pretty lively. Warren Zaire-Emery came on, I mean, much later, but I thought also he was pretty good, was lively and impactful. There was one ball where I think he should have played Mbappe a bit earlier, but it's fine. But yeah, the game is a bit more difficult to analyze because just how Croatia set up. They very much so came here to just try to grind out a draw. And like as soon as France equalized, you saw, I think Modric came up, in the 85th minute. France equalized in the 80th minute. Like he came up straight afterwards. You saw it in his face that I think that you just like, I'm not necessarily one to always go and say all body language than the other, but like you could see all the Croatians. You had Modric, Kovacic. They looked defeated. They looked like they believed the game was already over. Like even in pens, you go and you look at the different huddles and so on and so forth. It looked like, okay, France was like not like cocky or anything or arrogant by any means, but they were like, hey, we're here. We're going to do this. We're going to win this. And it sort of looked like with Croatia, it's like, hey, if we do it, great. If not, hey, it is what it is. We were well beat. And it's unfortunate because I thought they were really, really, really good in that first half, in the first leg. But I think now that I think about it, is it more so that it's just France were like really poor and just were not up to it? Of course, it's a good team, but I just think that, pound for pound overall, I think France is better. But it's been a good set of couple Nations League games here when I come and look at it. And that sets up a very, very tasty, if we go and look, semifinal between France and Germany, the 5th of June at, I'm pretty believe this is the Stuttgart Stadium. So cheeky little revenge game for the 2024 Euros. And hopefully this time around, France is going to be able to get the better of Spain. And I guess to quickly wrap up then on the game and everything, I guess, surrounding it, for Didier Deschamps, even though it's not going to change anything I had to say before, because I feel like as much as today France played very well today, and there's like not many, I guess, criticism that you can go and you can lobby against the team. It's just the fact that we were sort of forced almost, because everywhere, if you looked at French news, RMC, L'Équipe, Le Parisien, all these, the French publications, it's all like, why are we so defensive? Why are we playing a last game of 𝙀𝙀𝘆𝘾𝑼𝙎, Guendouzi, Rabiot midfield? And it sort of feels like you sort of cave into the like public pressure of the French people to go and start and have a much, much more attacking front four and really use your attacking threat to its full potential. And my worry is that in a big competition where there's a lot more at stake here, he wouldn't do that, because obviously, not the Nations League isn't nothing, but it's also not. This isn't a Euro. It's not a World Cup. In a game like that, would he go, if this is a quarterfinal, semifinal game against a big world powerhouse, is he going to go and put 4 up front, or is he going to go back to his old ways and play 3 basically DMs and like basically play, because even Koundé, like, yes, now he's gone on and developed as one of the best right backs in the world, but by formation he was a center back or in a 3. So that's sort of still my concern. I hope that once again that he gives more chance to younger players and doesn't just reward players based on their loyalty to him. So as much as like players like 𝙀𝙀𝘆𝘾𝑼𝙎, as much as I like him, I don't think he should be getting in over a Cherki or even an Akliouche. Jonathan Klaus, I think a Malo Gusto, you have to get them. And even it's the same thing that I was saying with England, is that you also need to start thinking now in terms of what players can potentially go and be there and be integral parts to the 2026 World Cup run. Because, I think now in France's group, you're going to have Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and the other team escapes me. I can't quite remember it, but like in a group like that, you're expected to, basically cruise your way into qualifying through. And so then with that, you go and think, okay, now you need to start thinking of, okay, who's going to be my core set of players that is going to go and really be there and be the mainstays and the people I can trust on going into the 2026 World Cup. And I think that people like Cherki definitely has a spot, at least in the 11. Doué needs to be seeing more game time. I thought his entrance, even though at times I thought he was trying to be doing a bit too much, but like even just some of the touches that he had there, the confidence to go take people on, do dribbles, flicks and whatnot, even like you're losing a game. It's just you love to see it as just a football fan. Like this guy, I heard I remember where I heard about 𝙀𝙀 is like a footballer. Like he's just a football. He's just a baller with the ball. He just makes you enjoy the game again. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see good performance. Hopefully we can continue in this good run of form and pick it up back. Doesn't change my fact that I think Deschamps needs to go. But hey, if he continues putting performances like this and putting teams like this, I'll slow down and I'll calm down on the criticisms. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching the video. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you for to everybody who was on the stream. It was a very, very fun experience. And well, I hope to see you for the next stream, whether that's a Nations League game, Champions League game, League game, whatever it may be. Look forward to seeing you guys. And remember, stay safe, stay kind, and stay blessed. Godspeed.